Prime Minister, welcome again to Abu Dhabi and thank you for being here. Let me begin our conversation by asking, first, why was it important for you to come to Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week?
Thank you so much. First of all, it's always a special pleasure to visit this beautiful country and the beautiful city of Abu Dhabi. And we also enjoy a very fruitful bilateral cooperation with this country. We have a very fruitful cooperation with the companies from this country. Of course, it creates another kind of motivation for us to visit this kind of events in this country. So it's a special pleasure for us to be here.
Prime Minister, what role do you see for Georgia when it comes to Europe's future energy security and supply?
So in general, we are attaching a special importance to the development of the energy sector in Georgia. Georgia is rich in hydro resources. Currently, we are utilizing only 20% of our hydro resources, which creates huge opportunities for us to develop this sector. And we have a special plan for the energy sector development. That's the long-term plan for 2036. Our plan is to increase the electricity generation from 4,800 megawatt installed capacity to 11,500. So we want to increase the electricity generation 2.5 times. It's an ambitious plan, but it's a very realistic plan. And of course, in the framework of this plan, we have opportunity to attract investments. It's really beneficial to invest in the energy sector, especially in the hydro energy sector in Georgia. But we can also attract investments in the field of solar energy or the wind energy. Again, the plan is there. We have implemented some very important reforms in the government and the Ministry of Economy to improve the electricity sector management inside the government. And so that's why we are optimistic about the implementation of this plan. And the idea is to ensure the full self-sustainability of the country by 2036 by reaching 11,500 megawatts. We can ensure the full energy independence of Georgia, and we can think about the exports of the energy to the European market. So we have a great opportunity in this respect. I think that in that perspective, by 2036, we will be the exporting country of the electricity to the European electricity market.
Well, Prime Minister, let me ask you about one of the major projects as well, because the Black Sea Submarine Cable is going to be one of the longest undersea power connections in the world. It's going to link Georgia directly to Europe's electricity grid. What does that project mean for Georgia's economic future and also its regional partnerships as well? Take me inside that plan.
So we see this project as a transformative one. It's a very ambitious project, but it's also realistic. We have already conducted the feasibility study, and the project is feasible both technically and economically. So that's why we are optimistically looking into the implementation of this plan. It's a very long Black Sea underwater cable. The length is 1,155 kilometers. And it will connect Georgia with the European electricity market, especially with the South-East Europe. It connects Georgia with Romania through the Black Sea and then to other countries. So it's a very important project. As I have mentioned, so we are going to increase our volumes in terms of the electricity generation, and it creates a need for exporting the electricity to other markets, especially to Europe. And without implementing this project, of course, it will be difficult for us to fully utilize our energy resources, which will be created by 2036. So that's why we are attaching a special importance to this project, and we are happy that the European Commission has included this project into the list of its priorities, into the list of projects of common interest. So it makes us further optimistic that the project will be implemented successfully.
And with this investment taking place, is it fair to say that Georgia is still committed to European integration in the future?
Sure, that's our plan. That's part of our political agenda. It's even enshrined in the Constitution of Georgia that we would like to become the full-fledged member of the European Union. And we are consistently following this plan. We have the association agreement, we have the association agenda, And we are consistently implementing our obligations under the association agreement and the association agenda. So that's why the goal is there. And again, we will be consistent in this respect in terms of implementing all the relevant reforms and making all the relevant steps.
Are you confident at this point that the Europeans feel the same?
Let's see. So we will do our best. The rest will depend on their decision.
How do you reassure global banks and energy companies that Georgia remains a safe and credible place to invest as a result of this division that we see with the Europeans?
So in general, we are very successful in terms of promoting the economic development. Georgia is one of the safest countries, not only in the region, but also in the broader region, I would say. We are the fastest growing economy in Europe. Our average economic growth during the last 5 years was around 9.3%, which is against the highest figure in Europe. And of course, everybody should properly assess the economic success, which is the result of the economic reforms the country is implementing, which is the result of the fact that the level of corruption is the lowest in the region. In this respect, we are doing better than around 10 countries of the European Union. So if there is a positive and if there is a fair assessment of what Georgia is achieving step by step, of course, the enthusiasm should be there to think about more integration of Georgia into the European space. So we are naturally belonging to Europe. We are trying our best to advance our country in terms of the economic growth, in terms of the improvement of the governance system. That's why we can be really optimistic that there are some difficulties in our relationships between Georgia and the European Union, but we are hopeful that it will be over with the change of some political circumstances.
And of course, European energy security is a critical global challenge at the moment. It's a challenge that partners in the Gulf are also very aware of. I also wanted to ask you about the middle corridor as well, because this is something that Georgia is also very focused on. You yourself have been promoting Georgia as the heart of that middle corridor trade route. Cargo volumes on the middle corridor have grown 7-fold since 2021, quite an achievement. What's driving that momentum?
Yeah, so as you have rightly mentioned, the capacities of the middle corridor are increasing tremendously, and there was a 7-fold increase during the last couple of years. And of course, we see our opportunity in that development. Historically, Georgia was connecting Europe with Asia, East with the West. We are a small country, but we have a very strategic location. And we are already quite successfully taking advantage of our strategic location. But we have a very ambitious plan to further strengthen our connectivity capacity, to further strengthen our transit capacity. And we are investing a lot, especially into the infrastructure. We are investing a lot into the highways, and by 2030, all the highway routes will be completed, constructed. In Georgia, we're investing also into the railway infrastructure, into modernizing the railway. We are also investing into the seaports. We are going to build a new Black Sea deep sea port in Irakli. That's one of the places in Georgia. All these developments, we are also investing into the airport infrastructure. We are going to essentially transform the country for strengthening, again, its connectivity and transit potential. And it makes us also optimistic that the country will reach essentially new level of development in a medium-term perspective. We have free trade agreements which connects us with many countries. So we have the highest number in the region in this respect. We have the free trade agreements with the European Union, with FTA countries, with CIS countries, with Turkey, with United Arab Emirates, and which creates also special opportunities for us to connect different countries economically and in terms of the trade with each other. And we have a very liberal economic policy with a very low tax rates. All this, and again, so the low level of corruption, of course, all these benefits create a very good opportunity for Georgia to serve as a very important pillar in the Middle Corridor project. Again, so we are optimistic. We are doing our best to strengthen our capacity. So that's why we can be really optimistic in terms of the country's development in this respect.
Prime Minister, I want to say thanks again for joining us here at Abu Dhabi Sustainability Week, and thank you again for the conversation.
Thank you so much. Thank you very much.